同学们大家好，今天我们要讲解的是翰林第3册第10课 Miles to go before you drink 迢迢千里汲水路上集。生活在台湾的我们，通常只要一打开水龙头就可以有干净的水可以使用，但是在非洲如果需要水的话，是需要经过一段漫长且艰辛的旅程的。本集借由非洲女性取水的艰困，让同学了解非洲缺水的困境，希望大家能更珍惜我们所拥有的水资源。In Taiwan, we are blessed with convenient water supplies. True, we occasionally complain about water shortages and rationing, but most times when we need water, we can just take a few short steps to the kitchen or bathroom. In Taiwan, 在台湾 we are blessed with convenient water supplies. Be blessed with 指有幸拥有，那我们拥有的是什么呢？ Convenient water supplies. Convenient 是形容词，指方便的、便利的。我们看例句 My apartment is in a convenient location right in the middle of the city. 我住的公寓位于市中心便利的位置。而 supply 是名词，供应、供给的意思。例句 The refugees are urgently in need of food and medical supplies. 难民急需食品和医疗用品。因此 convenient water supplies 就表示便利的水源供给。我们继续往下看 True 的确 We occasionally complain 我们偶尔会抱怨 about water shortages and rationing 抱怨着缺水和限水。Water shortages 中的 shortage 是名词，表示不足、短缺。例句 The long hot summer has led to serious water shortages. 这个夏天漫长而炎热，导致严重缺水。而 rationing 是配给的意思。But most times when we need water, 但是大多数的时候，每当我们需要用水时，当我们想要表示多数在怎么样的状况的时候，就可以使用 most times when. 因为 most times 表示时间，所以关系副词用 when。我们继续往下看，当我们需要用水时， We can just take a few short steps to the kitchen or bathroom. 只需要走几小步路就可以到达厨房或浴室。接下来我们可以注意到这一段使用了 true but 的句型，意思是的确，但是，也可以写成 It is true that but 的形式。It is difficult for us to understand the hardship that people in other parts of the world are suffering because of inadequate access to clean water. It is difficult for us to understand. 我们很难想象 the hardship that people in other parts of the world are suffering. 世界上有很多人正在受苦。这里的 hardship 表示困难，相当于 difficulty 的意思。那这些人为什么受苦呢？ Because of inadequate access to clean water. 因为没有足够的管道获取清水。Inadequate 是形容词，为不充足的、贫乏的意思。例句This work is extremely inadequate. You'll have to do it again. 这项工作做得非常糟糕，你必须重做。而 access 为名词，表示接近、使用权利。例句 The only access to the village is by boat. 到那个村子去的唯一方法是乘船。Suppose you faced a long daily walk up a steep hill to fetch the water you need and carry it back home on your head.我们先看句首的 suppose。suppose 是动词，指假定、推测。例句 Jason found it a lot more difficult to get a job than he supposed it would be. Jason 发现找工作比他想象的要难多了。那当 suppose 放在句首时，可用来表示条件与假设语气连用，用法与 if 相同。所以 suppose you faced a long daily walk up a steep hill 便指假设你每天需要面对一段漫长的陡坡，用步行的方式上山。Steep 是形容词，指陡峭的。我们看小黑板 It's a steep climb to the top of the mountain, but the view is worth it. 爬上山顶的路非常陡，不过山顶的风景好，值得一爬。那走上这段陡坡 To fetch the water you need 去取用你所需的水。Fetch 是动词，表示把东西拿来。例句 This glass has been used. Please fetch me a clean one. 这个玻璃杯已经有人用过了，请再帮我拿一个干净的。 我们继续往下看 ，and carry it back home on your head， 然后把你取的水放在头上，走回家。Women in parts of Africa often have little choice but to trek long distances to collect water for their families. Scola Latina is a housewife in Samburu County in northern Kenya. Women in parts of Africa, 非洲女性 often have little choice, 多半别无选择 but to trek long distances to collect water for their families, 只能长途步行为家人取水。Trek 指的是艰苦跋涉。接下来我们注意一下画底线部分，这里使用了 have no choice but to 接动词的句型，可以用来表示别无选择，只能做什么事情。Choice 也可以替换成 option 或是 alternative。我们继续往下看 Scola Latina 斯考拉勒提娜 is a housewife 是位家庭主妇 in Samburu County 她住在山布鲁郡 in northern Kenya 这个郡位在北肯亚 Kenya 指的是肯亚，是一个位于东非的国家。
Most of the time, the only way she can get water is to visit a small spring in the mountains. She usually sets off for the distant spring early in the morning with a 10-liter container. 好，我们这边两个单字先提醒同学。第二句的 spring 在这边当作名词，而 spring 当名词的时候，除了这边的泉水，也可以当作弹簧或者春天的意思。还有最后面 distant spring 的 distant 是形容词，意思是遥远的。接着我们看到课文开头的 The only way she can get water is to visit a small spring in the mountains. 她取水的唯一方式就是去山里面取泉水。The only way 基本加上主词、动词，然后 is to 动词，就是某人做什么事情的唯一方法就是如何怎么样做。例句 The only way you can borrow money from Liz is to bug her constantly. 你想跟李斯借钱唯一的方法就是不停地缠着她。还有第二句 She usually sets off for the distant spring early in the morning with a 10-liter container. Set off for the distant spring 出发前往那个遥远的泉水。这边的句型 set up for 就是出发前往。例句It's a shame that I can't spend more time with you, but I really need to set up for the camp now. 不能与你多待一会儿，真的很可惜，但是我现在真的得要出发去营地了。另外给同学补充最后面的 10-liter container。10 liter 在这边是数字加上连接号 hyphen， 后面再加上名词 container。这个时候的 10 liter 就变成一个形容词的角色，在修饰后面的容器 container。一个常见的用法是用来讲年龄。例句 Johnson is a 3-year-old boy. 张三是一个3岁的男孩。这种也可以用来讲距离。例句 It's a 10-minute walk from here to the MRT station. 从这边到捷运站走路大约要10分钟。不过要特别注意的是，在这种时候数字后面的名词一定会是单数，不会是复数。Scola's journey is a difficult uphill hike through dry and rocky terrain. It is also filled with danger because wild animals such as lions drink from the spring, and venomous snakes sometimes cross her path. 好，我们一样先看到这边的单字，有 uphill 在第一句 ，uphill 是形容词，意思是上坡的，向上。刚刚第一句的 rocky 是形容词，意思就是多石头的。第三个 terrain 是名词，意思是地形、地势。接着最后一行 venomous 形容词，意思是有毒的、分泌毒液的。然后我们先看这边第二句 It 也就是 Scola's journey is also filled with danger. 史考拉的旅程中也充满了许多危险。Be filled with 充满什么东西，可以指有形与无形的充满。例句The shopping mall is always filled with customers when there's an anniversary sale. 那个购物中心在做周年庆特价的时候总是挤满了顾客。例句中的 customer 就是有形的充满、挤满，而课文中所说的则是道路 is filled with danger， 充满了危险，是一种比较抽象的充满。我们接着看到这一句的最后面 Venomous snakes sometimes cross her path. 毒蛇有时候会出现在她取水的路径上。Cross somebody's path. 不期而遇，这也可以写成 cross path with somebody. 例句 Tony said he just crossed my path, but I think he meant to meet me there. 托尼说自己是跟我巧遇，不过我认为他是刻意要在那边和我碰面的。例句2 Wow, I did not expect to cross paths with you today. Wow, 我没有想到今天会跟你不期而遇呢。To make matters worse, on the way to the spring, Scola is at risk of attack from bandits who will rob her of the few belongings she carries. 好，这边先有3个单字，第一个是 attack， 在这边 attack 是名词，意思是攻击。后面的 bandit 也是名词，意思是强盗、土匪。最后面 belongings 名词 belonging 意思就是所有物。接着我们看到一开头的 To make matters worse, on the way to the spring, Scola is at risk of attack from bandits. 更糟的是，斯考拉在路途上冒着被强盗抢劫的风险。To make matters worse 意思就是更糟的事。例句 I had a terrible headache today. To make matters worse, the math teacher decided to have a pop quiz. 我今天头很痛。更糟的是，数学老师决定要来一个临时小考。课文中指的是路途上不仅仅 filled with danger 充满了危险，还有 bandits 会 make matters worse 让情形更糟糕，让 Scola 的路途更加危险。The return trip, though mostly downhill, must be made very carefully and slowly as she tries to balance a heavy container on her head. 好，我们先看到这边的2个单字，第一行的 downhill 是形容词，意思是下坡，而第二行 balance 是动词，是使平衡，保持什么东西的平衡。而 balance 除了物理上面的平衡，也可以指抽象的平衡。比如说同学可能学过的句型 balance between A and B， 这也可以说是 strike a balance between A and B。 这边的 balance 就不是真的要去平衡一个东西，让它不要倾倒，是说在2件事情之间取得平衡。而 the return trip must be made very carefully and slowly， 这一句中间多了一个补充性质的子句 though mostly downhill， 在形容前面的 return trip。 不过这边的原句型是 make a trip， 相近的有 take a trip 或是 go on a trip。 不过要注意 make a trip 跟另外2个有些微的差异。在使用上来说 make a trip 有隐含着花下时间、精力、金钱去规划并完成这个行程，这个 trip， 而 take a trip 跟 go on a trip 就单纯是去旅行，可能你只是搭个朋友或家人的顺风车，你什么都没做，只是跟着去了，但是这样也可以算是 take 或者是 go on a trip。 这就是课文这边用 the trip must be made very carefully and slowly 的原因。主人翁 Scola 的旅途不是一帆风顺的，需要他花下时间、精力，冒着很大的风险来完成。